Hi, welcome. I'm doing a segment called Venus Dream Divining. We're going to take an hour and do a tarot reading, taking into consideration the dream time world for the astrological sign of Pisces. And we're going to be working with the science of love and the energy of Venus to divine some energies of what's going on in your love life. As I was preparing the cards for your reading, Pisces, I was feeling like a lot of anxiety, a lot of things come up for you that you're not quite wanting to contend with. And but I'm also seeing a lot of like celebratory energy happening in and around your life. So there's some really good positive changes happening, but there's some sort of unfinished business that you feel you can't do anything about. So let's delve into maybe some of those areas and see in the dream time, maybe there's some answers there that you have just not thought of in the physical energy is what I'm seeing. So I'll give you guys like a few minutes to settle in while I do this shuffling. And this is for Pisces. In honor of the Pluto energy going direct, I'm putting these readings out to help people through a lot of ups and downs that are going to be coming in the next couple of years. So I thought these readings might be a little bit helpful. You may appreciate it more at the end of October when you have gone through some difficulties and you look back, you hear the readings, and then you'll see what you've worked through. So I'm sort of sensing for you, Pisces. I'm also sensing a real feeling of mistrust around you. Like there's family members that you're working with karmically to clean up some energy. It's like old energy I'm picking up on. I am sort of also seeing like a phoenix rising from the ashes energy here, prosperity. I'm sensing like possibly by the spring there may be new job, new work for you, you know what, I feel like a relationship that you're in gets very serious. You may move in with a person if you are not involved with a person, Pisces. And I'm sensing that there's a lot of activity for those of you who are connected with someone, but there is a contention with in and around family and children especially, but also like I'm sensing like your childhood, I feel like your childhood hurts are it's time for you to converse about them, Pisces. I'm sensing that there are people around you. Also, there's gossip in and around here. It seems to be a theme of the day. With Aquarian, it was around. But with you, I also feel like there's coffin. You know, this card is speaking of a death of a sort, and I'm sort of sensing that some of you are really ending a relationship. Like it is final. It's done. No more nonsense. I'm just going to fix the glare here for a second. There we go. Might be a little better. So I'm sort of sensing that, not particularly, sorry. I'm sort of sensing that this relationship that I sort of feel like it was an old relationship or somebody in the family. There has either been a recent death or a real finalization of ending of a relationship that was damaging to you, Pisces, is what I'm seeing. You're having some distance from that. You haven't quite got the distance from the separation yet, but when you have the separation, I feel like you're going to really be happy because it's going to be the phoenix rising from the ashes, coming into the spiritual light and understanding of why you've been through what you've been through here. I'm feeling like a lot of, you know, there's been a lot of good, but I feel like there's been some contention in the past here. In order to get to this good, you've had to release the energies fully that you haven't done so yet. I am also sensing that there is some work to be done with community, that there's karmic debt here somewhere along the lines with community. And so I feel like you've put aside some spiritual workings in order to feel like you're doing something in the community. I feel like you feel a calling and a spiritual awakening, and there's a lot of good around, but there's a contention dealing with loss. That's what I'm sort of feeling here. A feeling of never being able to, like something so dead, you're never going to be able to work through that. But there is rising, there's the phoenix rising from the ashes of that. Seems a little repetitive, but maybe to me, but I'm seeing like a lot of other energies coming in. I feel like there's a change of job coming in, a cutting of old ways that you just are like, I'm done with this. This is like, I've had enough. And I feel like it's to do with work. And I feel like you may even just like quit a job or whatever. And I feel like there's a conversation. Maybe you maybe moving in with somebody. A relationship that's been stabilized, that's been healthy and good. I feel like there's a union between two people here, Pisces, this group that I'm talking to right now, that the union that you're in is smooth and gentle, and it's things that you've always wanted, but yet there are things that are changing in and around you that need to take place still. There's some magic, there's some alchemy that has to happen on your part in your thoughts about what it is you exactly want, because I feel like you're sort of wandering between different areas in your life and not really having a set plan about what you need to do, and just sort of winging a lot of things. But there's energies, there's things happening behind the scenes that are going to transpire, that if you don't do things, that the work for yourself, then the real goodies can't come in, and the manifestations you have will just be partial manifestations and diverse manifestations. It won't be whole and contended with, and something that you can celebrate fully. I am seeing that in the center you do eventually get this. You get that if you release certain things completely. And I am seeing that you've had some sort of obsessive thoughts about some person as well, or they're having obsessive thoughts about you, Pisces, one of the two. And so within that, you've transformed this energy. And I do feel for you yourself, I feel more, you yourself, Pisces, may have some obsessive thoughts, and you're wondering, why can't I just let this go? I'm sort of sensing, I want to go into the Gaia dream things, because I'm sort of sensing, I'll get to the romance angels later, but I'm sort of sensing that this is soulmate energy, that you've chosen that this is not the way you want to go. And it's been, you know, there's a little bit of sorrow, but I feel like you've gotten over things very, very quickly here, Pisces. And you're moving forward. You've made a very quick decision. This card here, Perception, came out inverted. I'm going to show it to you the right way. I'm sorry, getting the glare off of here. I'm really sorry about that part, guys. There's not much I can do about it. So if I put it like this, you may be able to see it. So I'm seeing your Perception. This came in inverted. So there's something off about what you're looking at. You're not getting the whole picture. And it's important. So let's find out what it is that you're not getting that whole picture about. So I'm just going to move my chair here a little bit. I feel like I'm sitting on the edge of it. On the edge of my seat, Pisces. Coming on the edge of my seat. All right. I'm curious as to what it is that your perception is off about, because it seems to me that, well, it seems to me that you're putting your goals in and they're being successful, so where is it off, you know? Like, that's where I'm sort of sensing, but I'm sensing that in behind the scenes there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in and around you that is like a mask of what is really the underneath laying energies. is it that Pisces are not quite seeing clearly? The Father. Huh. You know, I was sensing that there was some karmic energy that needs to be healed here. And what's come out is the Father energy. So those Pisces that are working with that energy, I feel like it's the Father energy that you need to inspect. So what was your relationship like with your father? That came out in the last reading for Aquarius too. Very interesting. So the Father, the masculine energy at this time is really affecting people and how they're viewing their relationships right now. So are you behaving in ways that, I'm sort of seeing like behaving in ways that you really don't like about yourself. So you're learning to not have those behaviors. You're recognizing where you're like that and you don't want that in your life. I'm sensing as this perception of what you learned, you are now realizing that it's hurtful for other people, just as it was for you as a child. But like, I feel like you just finally having aha moments about this and going, oh, that's where I'm doing it. It's like you always said, no, I'm not like that, I'm not like that, and then you're realizing where exactly you are like that. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And maybe this is where I'm seeing the transformation of the Phoenix come and rise up and go, okay, hell no, I'm never going to do that again. It's like you learn that life lesson. And I feel like there's some releasing, though, of karmic cycles. But I feel like there's unfinished business with people around you, that you feel you must tie up loose ends in order to go into this next cycle. But you're really fearful. I feel like you actually probably, out of all of the signs I'm sensing, more procrastination from you Pisces and not movement until into, like, I'm seeing movement on the surface levels, like with money, job, all those kinds of things. But when it comes to your interpersonal relationships and your relationship with money, to yourself, and relationships with people around you, especially your love relationships, I feel like there's an underlying current going on here that you're not content with, that you want to change. And there's a piece there that you're not there's a piece for yourself that you need to work with. And we're going to find out what this is. So we have the Four of Earth going on here, and I'm sensing that there is more concentration at this time about feeling good, and I'm sensing energy of suppression of what it is to actually look at. And so these two here, it's like, I feel like Pisces, you know, you're the great person of good times, and here, if you're able to master that energy. And I feel like you've done a lot of alone time, but I feel like you're kind of repeating the same pattern of what the father male figure in your life did. And you're wondering, you're saying to yourself you're not like that, but in fact you're realizing that you're doing similar energy. And so you're contending with that face of narcissism, and everybody's narcissistic to a certain point. And so they have to realize where it's in excess in their life. Looking after oneself, the true story of narcissism is, you know, truly looking after oneself, but not overly. You're not going to do it overly. But so I'm seeing that overindulgent in self energy, and you're transforming that. And where it needs to, you're getting to the root of where it needs to transform at this particular time, especially in October. I'm actually seeing into December. I'm feeling energy of reconciliation with people that you've not been around for a while. So yeah, we have the opposite ends here. We have the fire and the energy of water here, masculine and feminine energy. And I feel like the reunion is like also, I feel like you have it happen in your psychic third eye first with the other person before you're able to no, I haven't done, sorry, hi. I have not done Venus and Aries yet. That's probably coming up. That'll be the next one. I'm in Pisces right now. It's not just for Venus and Pisces. It is for also if if you're a Pisces, your sun sign, it is how you're going to look at this video just for the understanding of how you're interacting on a personal level with people in and around you, your personality. Then in your next sign, which is your moon sign, it will be your subconscious, which you have hidden even from yourself. And so it's going to come out in your behaviors and how you interact with other people. Then your Venus sign is mainly about how you are with your love life. So all of those things are all going to apply. It's just to what degree they apply to in your love life. So it's important to listen to all three, not just your Venus sign or the other person's Venus sign. Okay, so I'm going to get back to Pisces here. Pardon me. So I feel, Pisces, that your third eye is very intuitive, but I am also seeing over here that your perception is off. So some of the things that you're feeling or you're awakening to is the fact that you've had some ill perceptions about the self. And so that's never an easy thing to go through, but when you come through that, when you look at that, the energy that transforms when you actually see, it's like your pure self comes to be. I didn't do Aries yet because I started with Libra for the honoring of the Pluto direct. So that's why I haven't done, if you watch the other videos, you'll see in the introductions, you'll hear what I'm talking about. I started with Libra. In the description box, I've also noted that I started in Libra in honor of Pluto going direct. So we're working from there. Okay. Now we're at Pisces. The whole deck wants to come out again. My goodness. I was going to take this bottom one here. The emotions. So within the energy of the soulmate journey right now, you are actually contending with a large amount of emotions. You're integrating the emotional body with the physical body. And so this is awakening the third eye, and there may be attack actually on the dream time I'm sensing here with this particular layout. I'm sensing that there may be attack within the love life. So if you're having some difficulties within your love life, they're telling me the key to that is looking at how your father basically treated your mother and what is happening, and there's similar energies going on there, and I'm definitely seeing you're psychically picking up on that fact, and that you're able to associate where it is now. We all know those things on a psychological level, but we don't really always know that with our heart and our mind in unison. So I'm definitely sensing, Pisces, that you're awakening to that energy, and you have help. I feel like your heart has been very hurt, but yet you've taken that emotional energy and transformed it into light. So that's really, really a positive thing, and a very angelic thing to do. It's not so easy to do that, Pisces. You can be very humble when you need to be in those areas. But I feel I'm sensing a little bit of stubborn energy within that. So you're having a lot of emotions about, I feel, possibly a past situation that you may be contending with, or one that you are contending with right particularly now. And oh, okay, so I'm sensing here, just give me a second here, I'm also sensing that you're going on a little bit of a journey, or you have had some travel here going on, and there's been some emotional time within that travel. I feel like there's some real chemistry going on within your relationship, but I'm also sensing that there's chemistry with a person in the past that you are trying to contend with, and I feel like the true emotions are sitting with somebody. Tell you the truth, I'm sensing the energy of, look at that. Okay, this is like freaking me out a little bit, but anyway, so you have the chemistry going on within the thing. I feel like there's some religious factors, so I feel like there's been some talk with the person that you're with, Pisces. I feel like you're having some about deeper commitment, not necessarily marriage, but with the religious factors, I'm sort of it's sort of hinting that way, and so there's maybe talk of engagement or deeper commitment, at least. Let's just put it like that. I feel deeper commitment, and more on a like a level of that. There's some religious energy going on. Like there's some actual, like the people are pushing you into doing something. I'm seeing, Pisces, in a form that is religious rather than more of a spiritual practice, which is how you operate, is more in the spiritual practice. I have also the card here of reconciliation. I was feeling this earlier, that there's a past situation that's unresolved that has to do with the behavior of parental upbringing and what you've seen, and you're knowing that certain things are wrong, but you did it anyways. And so I'm sort of sensing that psychically you're seeing the depth of the understanding with that. You're feeling the emotional pain here, Pisces, of working through that. And this is a journey. This has been part of the soulmate journey. So that piece is done, but I feel like there's still some things that need to be completed. And I also am sensing that you may be off on a journey with somebody else. I feel like there's like chemistry working on with somebody else, and it's a distraction for what you need to be, and it's creating a whole new, I don't want to say web, but I'm going to say web. I'm going to pull out more of the angel cards, but I feel like there's a whole web of energy going on here, that it's going and spinning in a way that you really don't want it to go, and you're looking at certain things. Look at, there's a look at that just like popped on the floor. Okay, it's soulmate energy. I'm definitely feeling there's some unfinished business with a soulmate energy, and it is karmic. It has to do with releasing old energy from the past of childhood hurts, and I feel like that's going to heal many things, and you're going to know it on many levels, not just in the physical. You're not just going to be happy and content in your physical life. You're going to be happy and content on the inside. When you're in your quiet moments, you're not going to be searching outside of the energy of the self, is what I'm sensing. Let me just adjust this here for a little minute. And so when you're doing that here, I feel like then this reconciliation comes in. You're going to sense it psychically before anything else. And look at very soon. That's coming in, Pisces, very, very soon. So if you are sensing and feeling that, you know, there's nothing that can stop that energy from coming back together here, Pisces. It's nothing on God's green earth that's going to stop that from happening. That's what I'm saying. Whoa. Okay. We're putting all that back because one card left. Yeah, that doesn't work. I'm not going to be all here all day reading this. So I feel like there's a lot of actually passion coming at you at this time, and I feel like you're sort of a little bit reserved. Unrequited love. I'm telling you, what the person that you're dealing with, you are no longer in love with. I'm not saying you don't love them. I'm saying you're no longer in love with them. You're reconciliating with a soulmate. I do feel that that there's chemistry, but I feel like this chemistry, since it's in alignment with the past energy of where you've had troubles in childhood with the father energy. And it's also laying underneath the religious factors. So the reason why the father had the problem was really actually due to religious factors. So there's some spiritual growth there that has to happen for that particular father. And it's allowed your perception to be off and of what is actually true. And so what's true chemistry for you, Pisces? I'm sensing that it's been affected you ill because you don't really know what the actual true meaning of the energy of chemistry is, and so it's created this unrequited love that you're dealing with right at this particular moment. But I'm telling you, this is happening for you, Pisces. In your dream time, you are psychically already connecting in and understanding that you need to move forward with this. But you're like fighting it with everything that you can possibly put forth. I'm going to pull out the angel guidance cards here because I do want to, like, those are specifically dealing with your romance area. And so when you're dealing with the prosperity aspect of your life. I'm going to tell you that what it is that's affecting you is that until you release the energy of this old thinking that have affected the religious factors that have affected the father figure of the family, and the working with chemistry, actually working with sexual energy with another partner, I feel like that's all off. It's all off. And I could be wrong about this, but for this group of people, I'm telling you, this is important. And you're going to find the energy of working with another person in those regards correctly. I feel like you've already met your soulmate. If there's just unfinished business. There's also a choice for you, Pisces, to go with a soulmate that you already built energy with, because in another life, you'll have to probably, deal with that as it is, where you left off anyhow. Or you deal with it in this life. So that's the way it works, so I feel like if you do, and I do sense that you're going to reconcile, but I'm sensing that it's going to be a true situation this particular time. There's true understanding, and your finances, when you do reconcile, like there was a situation with money that didn't happen. I'm sensing very strongly there's a situation because the effort was put, the chemistry was put in the wrong place, and so the relationship was not able to go forward financially because of that, and so that confused the situation. And I'm sensing that the forward moving energy is very soon to balance that whole situation, and that you've mastered that energy. Absolutely have mastered it is what I'm seeing. There's absolute mastery. So it's going to work with the angelic energies a little further to see what their guidance is for you. Honestly, the whole deck wants to come out. We just want one or two. Okay, they're giving us three. Spiritual understanding, moon cycles, and sensitivity. So this is very important. Obviously, the moon cycles are going to be very sensitive for you in the next couple of months. And I'm seeing that because there's been some neglect in the spiritual aspect of things, you haven't had correct spiritual understanding about how to apply certain things. I feel like you've sort of felt like you knew what you were doing and you're experimenting with it. And that's okay. Everything's okay with that. It was an experience, but you've really hurt yourself in that process, and you're sensing it now. It's almost like there's an awakening towards that sensitivity of understanding that you have spiritual consequences when you're dealing with your sexual chemistry. And then those karmically, those debts have to be paid. I feel like they're being paid. They're on your mind, and there's energy because the soulmate energy is on your mind, and you want to correct that energy. So I feel like there's more. I was feeling like either the goddess cards, the goddess guidance cards, or the angelic energies, and I'm sort of sensing the angelic energies want something to say, and one just popped out. Of course it lands on the other side of the room, but let's just see. Counselor. So what I'm sensing from this card here is that you are the counselor. You're getting counseled right now from the higher realms because you're growing into that energy of counseling somebody else. So I feel like this reading was a little bit of a counseling thing. You may need a counselor to work things out fully. If you need that kind of professional help, I'm not that person. But I feel like you're going to talk with somebody who's on a professional level, actually. Whether or not it's someone that you go for regular counseling to, or maybe it's a friend who's a counselor, or I'm even sensing it could be a lover that is a counselor. However, not that you want your lover to be your counselor, but it's like they may guide you to where the correct place is where you need to go to talk this out with people. And it's never an easy situation, but I feel like if there's true love there, you allow yourself to be vulnerable towards receiving counseling. So, and the reason why I'm saying that you're getting that is because I feel like that's the healing in you. And when you do that, you're going to learn how to do that for other people. If you're not already doing that, Pisces, I feel like you're going to do that for people very soon. Or you're doing it in your job, or you know somebody who's doing that, is what I'm sensing. So I've really felt a lot of sexual energy happening with Pisces right now, creative energy. So what I mean by that is there's energy to master within that realm, and the goddess Venus works a lot, obviously, with that energy. As an Earth, we are, you know, Venus, the planet. So let's just talk about the Venus planet for a minute. The planet Venus is an ascended planet, an energy of perfecting love, beauty, finances, all the things that we hold valuable, you know. And so that is mastering sexual energy. And so the tarot cards here that I'm working with, the sexual tarot magic cards, are working with that energy. And so our Earth is striving to be very much like that. And when it's those energies are misused, and I also feel like a history of generational abuse of this against your family, to tell you the truth, abuse of power, all kinds of things. I don't want to get into that too much, you know, here, Pisces, but I do sense some history here happening that karmically you are really correcting, and it's admirable and not an easy path to weave through. That's what I'm sensing. There's been some old negative karmic cycles that need to finish. So, we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel in your life right now, I feel like there's contentment with, if you're with someone, there's contentment with the person you're with. And if you're not with the person you want to be with, I feel like if you're single, you want to be with a specific person, and there's a longing to be with that contentment once again, and you feel like, I swear it feels like the soulmate calling you in, and you're hearing the call, you're psychically awakening to that call, is what I'm sensing. And it feels like there's a lot of contentment in and around this person that you're with. It's like you can be yourself and they can be themselves, and there's nothing to hide, and there's absolute contentment within the two in balance, and there's nothing to worry about, is what I'm sensing. I'm sensing a little bit in the past that there's been some competition and fear in the past, which where that cycle was from the father energy, but that's changing. I'm seeing here the 10 of Cups, so there's definitely love coming in here fully, Pisces, in the way that you want. It feels to me like it's very passionate. It feels to me it's reciprocal. It feels balanced in all forms. I am sensing here that with the 10 of Cups here, you know, you also may be involved, you may be in a situation where the person you're with really wants a lot of attention, and they demand attention, and it feels like you're catering to them, and there's like a suppression, and you're longing for this situation where it was balanced before. And I feel like you go back, you feel like this, I feel like you feel like this is your soulmate here. This person is making your life comfortable and good. There's nothing wrong. But that love, that deep love, I'm telling you, Pisces, I feel like that's there. I'm also seeing some energy of gossip in and around you, and that wall of protection around you. I feel like there's like spiritual energy that has you protected, because this outside influence is like, it's like it has no more effect on you anymore, but the other person still thinks it has effect, or the other people still think it has effect on you, Pisces, and it has no effect on you actually. Like you're beyond the effect of it, but you still have to work out your own little kinks karmically within the relationship you're in now, or within the relationship that you want and that you're building towards. I'm definitely seeing that with the sexual energy with you guys. can't even see what this is saying here. So this is the Queen of Pentacles. I do feel this is in conjunction with this. I feel like this person has, maybe the person that you're with has a little bit of money, contentment, and influence. I'm sort of seeing. However, it seems like that you're at the beck and call here, where when I see this soulmate energy of what you feel like it's supposed to be like, Pisces, that this is the energy that you're going to go after. This is not content for you. There's miscontent there. There's admiration on many levels. I feel like there's love and admiration, but I'm not sensing that the relationship that you're putting some energy into, there's like benefits, lots of benefits, and it's not wrong or bad, but it doesn't feel like soulmate energy to me. It feels like this is good for me for now. This is what I want right now, and I'm fine with it to have that actually the rest of my life. That's sort of what I'm seeing, actually. But you do long in your mind. You have longing for this. I am sensing a new journey here. Like when I see this, I feel like there's a whole new journey that you're going on. This is not something that you are, like, you're moving away. You're moving away from this whole energy. That's what I'm seeing. This energy is moving away. Where is it? Here we go. You know, from that whole... so it sort of feels like, I don't want to say subservient, but it sort of feels like you're not the focus of the attention of the relationship, but power and control is. You're recognizing it. I think you're recognizing it from your childhood issues as well, and you're able to move forward through that. I'm seeing the Emperor here, definitely. I'm also seeing on the astral plane here, where I said there's some psychic energy that you're contending with, and you're feeling the call of the soulmate. I feel like the soulmate is calling you in psychically. I mean, I don't know if I'm off here, but I'm sort of sensing this is what's happening. The soulmate is calling you off and reflecting on the energy of what you're sitting in. And if you choose to come, which I feel you do, you come to the person, you come to the soulmate. I'm sensing this is the same pattern of what I'm seeing in a different weave as the line before. So you're moving towards, the person is coming towards the soulmate situation. The king, I feel, or I mean, if you're, it doesn't matter about feminine or energy, but the masculine energy is coming towards you. Or if you're the masculine energy, you're moving towards the soulmate for sure. We have one more card here, and this is strength. The energy of strength. So I feel like you moving towards a soulmate, you're going to feel stronger. You're not feeling so strong with what you're sitting in right now. And if you're feeling energy draws towards something, then I feel like you have to follow through with that situation there, Pisces. So I'm going to check the time here. Okay, we got a few more minutes. I want to pull out the Egyptian cards that I work with and see what advice to the masters of the sexual energy, see what advice they have. So this is the Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles came out inverted. So there's definitely something going on with your finances here, Pisces, and that's related to what we know as the self-worth, right? So it's not that is what your self-worth, it's what we choose to represent. And there's the Four of Swords, so there's some situations going on with your finances that you're not addressing. And that is also in the similar, I'm feeling in the similar vein as the father energy, the father figure energy. So you're dealing with things karmically and facing things to do with finances right now. Your wishes are not going to come true with what you were manifesting before with money. I feel like there's a stagnant energy. There's a fighting through of negative ego right now, I'm sensing. So there's a couple of things going on here. Okay, oops. We have the, sorry, trying to get the glare off. We have the Nine of Pentacles inverted, and we have the swords, Four of Swords coming down to block some energy. And I'm sensing that you're weaving through some sort of really sharp energies, avoiding the crocodiles. That's what I'm sort of sensing. You don't know really what's real and what's not because your perception's off and you know it. And you're like a little bit confused, actually, I feel, about what's going on, and you're just kind of You feel like you want to say you're in control of life, but I feel like inside you're really confused, Pisces, right now. And you know you're fighting your way through something, you just don't really know what it is. And you're not quite recognizing it yet. I feel like you're awakening to it. The King of Pentacles. So you do work through, here we go. This is like a real work through from the 9, having your money inverted. And I was sensing like maybe you change a job, change a place, change a house, movement, travel, that sort of thing is happening in and around your life. And I feel like you move to mastering your money finally. It's you're going to be okay. You just going through a little bit of, whoop, am I going to be okay? No, am I not? Oh, do I have to do this? I even feel like some of you might even be thinking about declaring bankruptcy. So you're like, oh God, I just fought through that again, and you didn't do it. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening, and you work through that energy. Let's pull one more card here for you, Pisces. Oh, that's it. We have the Knife of Swords. So you're cutting off all that doesn't serve you in the future. So you're recognizing, sorry, I'm trying to get a little bit of the glare off. You're recognizing what is healthy for you and what's not healthy for you now, Pisces. And this is the time to apply those things. You're really using discernment. You're learning the lessons of discernment right now. And that's a huge lesson for all of us. But I feel like those of us who have placements in Pisces, we're going through some hard lessons and awakening to what is actually truth and reality of things. And that's never an easy situation to go through when you think you know something and all of a sudden you realize you didn't know anything. I'm sort of sensing this about the journey that you're going through. The more you know, the less you know seems to be the theme for the Pisces right now. But I'm also sensing on the positive side, there's a lot of it seemed to have gone in a way where you're working through some childhood issues, deep childhood issues. But I'm definitely seeing that Pisces, that you're working through that, and if you can do that, you're gonna fly into very, very good energy that is very powerful. So creating some deep soulmate energy. I feel like the soulmate energy is not done for you, and you have to work through a few more soulmate energies before you're in the energy of using the energy of divine union. So you're working towards that, and I see huge accomplishments within that energy field, especially in your family and social life. I feel like you're laying down boundaries. You don't really know what the right ones are yet, but you're figuring it out, and you're okay to make mistakes through that. And I also feel, Pisces, that honestly, I feel like there's a lot of judgment against you right now. Maybe I'm gonna go. So I keep saying, oh, one more card. I'm sort of sensing that I need to do a little timing situation for you. So I'm going to pull out the Moonology cards and see what they have to say, which is the moon cycles, because that came out as important for you. So I want to know what the moon cycles. I feel like this past moon in Pisces was very powerful for you. The full moon in Pisces, there was a lot of shifting in the full moon in Pisces for you, Pisces. Your dreams need a practical plan. Moon in Taurus. Yeah. So what does a Taurus do? They're very practical. They're very I'm not sure when the Taurus moon is coming, but I'll look it up of when that is, and I'm going to tell you by that time. Hopefully you got your ducks in a row. Or when I'll maybe make a little note here about putting a note in the bottom of the video for Pisces about Taurus energy and Taurus placements. All right, I'll put a note in for you. And so I'll look up when that's going to be. So I'm sort of sensing that it is going to be within the month cycle. I feel like it's going to be in a couple of weeks. In monthly cycle, I feel like it's going to be not until probably January. Yeah, I'll double check that. Sort of what I'm seeing from my scanning of the planetary alignment. I'm just sort of sensing that, but I could be wrong about that. But I'll look into that. So you need to start writing. Okay, you need to start documenting your dreams and see where the patterns are coming out for something for you to work with. You'll start to see a pattern in the energy of your dreams if you actually write them down or have some way of recording it. I feel like some of you are artists, so whether it is through painting or poetry or any form of expression, artistic expression, it can be in any form. But I'm sort of seeing poetry with this group of Pisces, writing, music, writing, mainly music. So poetry, music, that sort of thing. I feel that's where you will shift through the energy of what you need to. I'm going to pull one more card with this, and I'll get those exact dates for you for the moon in Taurus, the full moon in Taurus. Ooh. I'm just going to take the bottom card here, a whole bunch flipped out, but energy is going an ongoing momentum. So right now, so in this moon cycle right now, I'm feeling that is what's happening. So right now you're gaining momentum. If you've done the work and you've released energy, I feel like by this full moon, by the Taurus full moon, things will have smoothed out. But continue, if you have not continued to do the oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what was on the bottom of this. Look at that. A new romantic cycle is in tow. So I'm seeing like deeper energies come out. And this is with the moon in Libra. Are you kidding me? Like that's what we're going into. How can that even be? So this cycle and the soulmate energy, I was feeling very strongly something's reconciliation to do with that. So probably within the next couple of weeks is going to be something happening with that, you guys, Libra. And you need to have a practical plan. You need to have things set in motion. You need to have things taken care of. I feel like there's some loose ends that I'm not taking care of for you, Pisces. Oh, sorry. Yeah, for you, Pisces. And then that will do that for you. And so the energies in... I don't know why I'm confused with Libra. I think maybe the Libra moon. I thought I said Libra, but if I did, you know what I meant. It was Pisces. But the moon in Libra is bringing a new romantic cycle. So this Libra... this month is extremely important for you to connect with soulmates, energy, and work on that aspect of things in your life, especially this particular time. And this is only going to gain momentum. It's going to be sustainable energy. That's what I'm sensing, sustainable energy. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. Good on you. It was a little bit of a bob and a weave there, but at the end of the day, you guys pull out the whole... growing into that soulmate energy and progression of a romantic relationship. So that is very positive for you. Very positive. Not sure if there's any other messages. I feel like I've given you all the messages for this particular time. I feel like working through your fears of what's going to happen, what if you don't do. I mean, I feel like if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to regret it more than saying, oh, to heck with it, it'll take care of itself. It's not the way to go, I feel. Now you need to plan. You need to work on through things and through energies, Pisces, so that you can move forward in where you need to be. All right? And I feel like you know where that level is on your soulmate journey, and I feel like you know you're not at that space right now, and you need to grow to it. You need to figure out the way to grow towards that. And one of the ways is to deal with that childhood root issue. Once you do and you recognize it in your life, it's not like you say, oh yeah, I know, I've been through that, I've dealt with it, yeah. No, it's recognizing it every time it presents itself in your life. And when you do, and you can look at it without the emotional energy, you're growing your emotional energy. And so you won't have that emotional outburst that overtakes your logical reasoning and compassionate displacement. Like if you think about this for a minute, I want to say this one thing about Pisces and Piscean energy. You know, the Piscean energy is rooted in love. When you look at what the energy of what the Christ energy is, which is the Piscean energy, The age of Pisces brought love, brought the energy of what love is, brought Jesus to this planet and the Christ energy to the planet. I'm not talking about anything religious. I'm talking about the energy of love. So that's what was being mastered on the planet for the last 2,000 years. Now we're moving into the Aquarian age from the Pisces, so we're twisting that wheel, especially at this month. It's like a real, like, oh, it's like a twist into it. So it's like that wave is gaining momentum underneath, and it's creating that big wave to be able to go over and create that flow into the Aquarian age with relationships. So whatever it isn't cleaned up right now, you're going to be facing for a long time. I'm talking like a 30-year cycle here, Pisces. So get your stuff cleaned up, and what you have right now, if you're willing to be in that for the next 30 years, then that's where you're at. So clean up what you need to and accept what you decide is your fate as your decision if it's not exactly where you want to be. And so there's consequences to all of that, and healing that needs to be within those consequences karmically, so you're not bringing that to the other person that you're choosing to be with. So you have choice of soulmate energy is what I'm sort of seeing. So you got decisions to make. Sometimes a personal reading is very helpful for that. So I do hope that if you manage, there's lots of YouTube, free YouTube videos for that type of work, and one of them is mine, so that's Moonlight Divine. You can check me out there. I hope you do, and like the page if you like it and all that good stuff, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, every Sunday and every Wednesday I'm going to go live and do readings for all the astrological signs here on Facebook. So we'll see you again some other time, and hopefully you'll be able to apply some of these messages, and if not, maybe next time the messages will be more applicable to you. And check out your other moon signs and your Venus signs too. So have a great day, Pisces, and everybody else out there. And cross watchers, I love you. You know, don't take anything personally, right? It's growth period and healing period. So I'll talk to you later, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Have a great day.